Buddy, Jalen here from J Gaming, and today we're gonna be reading some stories on Q Feast. This one's called Harmless War. It was made by Northern Narnia, so be sure to follow him or her. Don't know the gender. And let's rate this. Chapter 1. No one spoke. The room was soundless. Even the outside world seemed silent. Just about 100 people in that room. The room that once had so much going on at once. And there wasn't a sound. No paper shuffling, no sneezing, no moving in the chairs. No noise was made. Everyone was just staring blankly at each other. It's our fault, someone finally spoke. It was a long time ago, back in 2025. The war that broke out. It wasn't a normal war. No, it wasn't like It wasn't like World War I and II. It was most of the countries against one. I'm gonna try and read this as angrily as possible. I don't know. Oi! If you would all shut up and listen. That was awful. I'm sorry. Northern Narnia spoke, but was cut up by Southern Narnia. The Narnians, two of the most harmless nations. Neither of them went to war with another country. Once they fought against each other, but that was never spoken of. No one dared to remind them of the horrors. They did work out now, just in case someone started the war, but rarely. They never thought they would have to fight anyone besides a small fist fight. Nothing serious. No one wants to listen to your theory that art can stop fighting. South interrupted. North glared at her blue-gray eyes at her, but back down. They weren't weak nor strong. They never really tried to fight, seeing how peaceful Narnia was. There was only one war between the North and the South, but again, no one dared to remind them. I was only trying to calm everyone down, North muttered under her breath. South ignored her. They were seated in a regular dark wood chairs, with red cushions on the back of the seat. Nothing special. Nothing. No interesting design to their dismay. South rested her elbows on the large wooden table and placed her chin on one open palm. Her expression was bored and tired. It was late afternoon in Spain, where the world meeting was taking place. The room was hot, to Northern Canada's distress. The light of the sun beat into the room, when the smells of the farmland outside waved inside. Not that anyone seemed to mind. Everyone was still bursting with energy. How? North and South would question, but never knew. North slightly tilted her head as she witnessed the personification of friends in England fighting once more. That's the 5th time in under an hour. They broke their record, South whispered. North nodded. Her smile pleasant on her lips, never leaving. It was almost impossible to make her frown. As for South, if she was touched unexpectedly, she would let out a scream and frown easily. The room was in chaos, bullet holes in every wall, 2 shattered windows. Some chairs didn't even look like chairs anymore. Plants were crushed on the ground. The flowers that once looked so nice on the table were gone, smashed on the floor. Everywhere you looked, someone was either going to be hurt or killed, or already was hurt or killed. Australia was shoved out the first window that shattered 30 minutes ago. He still hasn't shown back up. Hungary was smacking every living, breathing soul in that room with her frying pan, successfully knocking out at least 5 other nations. Southern Narnia averted her gaze from Belarus and Denmark, first fist fighting in the corner of the room, and looked at America with her amber-colored eyes. There he goes again. I bet you $5 he's going to say South was speaking to North at the same time. Both her and America pointed their thumbs at their chests and loudly said, I'm the hero. North softly sighed and lifted herself up from the comfortable chair. I'm going to leave early. It just looks like we wasted another meeting, she said, pushing her white hair behind her ear, only for it to fall in her face. You can't. England will slaughter you for leaving early again, South said vividly, remembering the last time they left early, slightly stuttering. It's not like they don't need us anyway. Nobody likes us, and nobody wants us here as far as we know. Poor North and South. Oh my god. Well, Chapter 2. Chapter 2. The Narnians ate in silence. Queen Korma, the fourth queen of Narnia, who came to the south, found that strange. Usually the two of them were screaming at each other, or at least doing something. She thought as she daintily placed her fork full of chicken in her mouth. Her green eyes glanced over at the king, King Charles from the northern part of Narnia. This is how the kingdom went. One of the royalty from the north, the other from the south. Unless you were born to royalty, England was proud when you realized how much Narnia was like the old England and New England. Ahem. Are you two girls free? Alright. Are you two girls alright? We haven't heard anything from you all day, the king exclaimed. South looked at him and smiled. We're awesome. Someone else shouted. Everyone jumped and looked at the end of the table. Precious smirked as everyone stared at him, not at all feeling comfortable, as he was used to being in the castle. Yo, North blinked a few times before dropping her fork onto an almost empty plate and began to stand up. I'll get him a plate, North said, smiling as usual, only to be glared at South. No, you can't stamp food into my kitchen. I'll get the plate, South said as she stood up and quickly left into the kitchen. North scoffed as she picked up her plate, sat in next to Prussia, and sat down. So, what brings you here? She asked as she picked up her fork once again. Prussia slightly looked at her. His grin was still there, but his eyes held something somewhat sorrowful. A loud chatter echoed throughout the dining room as South placed the plate in front of Prussia. It wasn't unusual of him to randomly pop up into the castle out of nowhere. He actually does this quite often. South also moved her plate next to him and uncomfortably sat down. Well, we'll leave you guys alone, Korma said as she quickly grabbed her plate and stood up. The king looked at her, obviously confused. When Korma huffed as she quickly linked his earlobe and harshly whispered something about the Narnians looking much more calm with their friend being here. The king pouted as he rubbed his ear, grabbing his plate and nodding his head to Prussia with the two nations. Shouldn't you be at the world meeting? South asked, but almost immediately regretted what she said. Prussia grabbed his fork and looked down at her with his ruby red eyes, his eyebrow raised. Are you serious? You think they'll ever allow me in there? Prussia used to be allowed into the meetings, but after 1974, he was not allowed anymore. Even if he stepped foot into the conference room when the meeting was going on, he would immediately be kicked out. No questions asked, but a lot of yelling. Once he tried to enter a meeting in Berlin. The moment he opened the door, he was yelled at by Germany for a long while. He then ran out and wasn't heard from in a week, which scared both the Narnians and both the Narnians and Germany almost half to death. She meant shouldn't you be doing something more awesome than hanging out with us? North said, staring her piece of chicken and shoved it into her mouth. Prussia did a snake-like laugh and slapped the both of them on their backs, which made North start choking on her chicken. You guys are awesome, though, he said as he began eating. After North finally stopped choking on the chicken, she took a deep breath and shook her head, giving a weak thumbs up. Thanks, she said hoarsely. South felt something strange in the air. A vial of negative emotion hung around Prussia. The feeling was so strong, he wasn't acting as he normally does. He'd usually ask for beer. He would have kicked his chair back, placed his feet on the table. He would have even sat between Queen Corma and King Charles. He has never sat at the end of the mahogany table before. Something was wrong. North, however, didn't seem to notice Prussia's strange behavior. She just chatted away from him, part of Narnia, laughing about how people would be trying to find them for an eternity. South tried to get North's attention by kicking her, and slightly smiled to herself when it worked. They locked eye contact. The warm honey color and icy blue color stared into each other. She nodded her head down at the table. North also softly nodded. They both shone at the table, which almost collided heads. "Whoa, what are you two doing?" Prussia shouted as he tried to join. Only to be more politely told not to. He softly sighed as he knew what they were doing, what they were going to talk about, and decided not to try to barge in. "Something wrong with him?" South whispered. North made a face, her cold breath mixing with South's warm breath. "What do you mean?" she asked. South explained her thoughts, then waited for North's reaction. Her expression was a mix of confusion and disbelief. "You think he has bad news?" North finally said after a long silence, deciding to just say something simple, not daunted. Pushing her brown hair behind her ear. "I don't think so. We should ask," she said. North shook her head, her long brown hair her long white hair moving wildly. "We have to wait. We can't just ask him." "Hey, you two look down in the dumps. What's on your chest, eh?" "It's just not right." The two nations nodded in agreement as they shoved back from under the table. Prussia wasn't eating anymore. "Yo, you all good, my man?" North asked, snapping her fingers and making her finger guns. He was no longer smiling nor smirking. His eyes were dull, staring at his half plate of finished food. "I heard you guys talking." North and South looked at each other but shrugged it off. They went to the table. How could they expect him not to hear anything? "Oh, and I was right?" South asked bluntly. Prussia sighed as he reached under his blue uniform, pulling out manila collar, almost exploding his folders. He pushed the place towards the folders in his place. "You guys should read these. I was looking around in West's workroom and found these in his drawer," Prussia said in a strange uncomfortable softness. The two Narnians looked at each other, eyebrows raised, as they both grabbed one of the folders for themselves. South looked at the filled nuts in Mark's folder and opened it. The first thing she saw was a letter written in Germany's neat handwriting. North did the same. "Dear Italia and Japan, I do not think we can last much longer. You and Japan cannot keep holding this off in signing in papers. I need your approval to fight with me. We are the Axis powers, are we not? That means we fight together. I understand if you don't like war, and neither does Japan. But my boss is wanting to start this war as soon as possible. I absolutely need your signature on these papers. The documents in the back are the plans and equipment we have to use. I have sent the same letter to both of you. Japan, I understand if you highly dislike bombs and the other things in that category, but I regret to inform you that those types of weapons will be used during the war. Italy, I know you dislike fighting at all. I understand if you don't want any more to be hurt or worse, but this is going on too long. Narnia must fall from Germany." Okay, that is gonna wrap up this episode. We will continue reading this next week. Bye! I've been Jalen from J Gaming, and you just been gamified? I don't know. Anyway, bye!